Good morning students, I am Shomajit sir. Today I am here to deliver my lecture on topic plant growth regulator. This is also called phytohormones or plant hormones. So today we'll start with a fresh new chapter, that is plant growth regulator. So these are phytohormones or plant hormones. So watch the entire video lecture to gain basics out of it. So without any delay, let's start with the topic phytohormones or plant hormones. So let's start. So let's start with the topic plant growth regulators. This is also called plant hormone or phytohormones. So plant growth regulator or hormones. So plant growth regulator, its short form is PGR. So they are small, simple molecules that regulate the plant growth, and based on the function, plant growth regulators are of two types. One is plant growth promoters, another is plant growth inhibitor. So plant growth promoter means those who promotes growth or enhances growth, like for growth promoting activities like cell division and enlargement, tropic growth, pattern formation, flowering, fruiting, seed and formation. Example, we have auxin, gibberellin and cytokinins are plant growth promoters, and plant growth inhibitors, like for growth inhibiting activities like dormancy and abscission, response to wounds, response to wounds and stresses of biotic and abiotic origin. Example is abscisic acid and ethylene. So 3 are growth promoting substances and 2 are growth inhibiting substances. So auxin, cytokinin, gibberellin are growth promoting substances, and abscisic acid and ethylene are growth inhibitor. So ethylene ethylene fits either on the groups, but it is largely a growth inhibitor. So ethylene fits on both growth promoter and inhibitor, but ethylene mostly fits on growth inhibitor. Now you can see, we'll first talk about auxin. So Charles Darwin and his son Francis Darwin observed that the colleptile of canary grasses responds to unilateral illumination by growing towards the light source, that is phototrophism. It was concluded that the tip of colleptile caused the bending of the entire colleptile. So F.W. Wendt isolated auxin from tips of colleptile of oat seedlings. Auxin was first isolated from human urine. Auxin are produced by the growth. Auxin are produced by the growing apices of stem roots, from where they migrate to regions of their actions. So you can see experiment A, B, C, D. You can see experiment to demonstrate that the tip of the colleptile is a source of auxin. So you can see the first one is bending, but whenever in the A part you see it's bending towards right, but in the B part you see the top portion is cut. So it is not bending, it is remaining straight, but in the C portion again it has been placed, now it is bending. So it shows that the top portion is the for auxin growth. So you can see types of auxin. One is natural auxin, another is synthetic auxin. Natural auxin example is indole 3 acetic acid, IAA, this indole acetic acid, and indole butyric acid, IBA. So they are isolated from plants. And synthetic auxins are there, like NAA, naphthalene acetic acid, and 2,4-D, that is 2,4-dichlorophenoxyacetic. So IAA and IBA are natural auxins, and NAA and 2,4-D are synthetic auxins. So you can see all the structures are given below. You can see all indole acetic acid structure is given, indole butyric acid structure is given, 2,4-dichlorophenoxyacetic structure is given, naphthalene acetic acid structure is given. Now let's move to the functions of auxin. First is it initiates rooting in stem cutting for plants propagation. Next is it promotes flowering, example in pineapples. Third is to prevent fruit and leaf drop at early stages. Next, to promote abscission of older leaves and fruits. It induces parthenocarpy, example in tomatoes. These auxins are also used as herbicides, Like 2,4-D is used to kill dicot weeds. It does not affect monocot plant. Okay, 2,4-D does not affect monocot plant, but it used to kill dicot weeds. It is used to prepare weed-free lawn. It also controls xylem differentiation and helps in cell division. So it helps in cell division. So these are the functions of auxin. Next, you can see in higher plants, the growing apical bud inhibits the growth of lateral auxiliary buds. So it is known as apical dominance. Okay. So removal of the shoot tip, that is decapitation, result in the growth of lateral buds. It is applied in tea plantation and hedge making. So you can see apical dominance, lateral buds is shown there, and apical bud removed so that lateral buds will grow. Okay. Next, moving to next hormone, next plant hormone or phytohormone, that is gibberellin. So they are acidic plant growth regulators. So you can see there are more than 100 gibberellins, okay, like GA1, GA2, GA3, etc. They are found in fungi and higher plants. So gibberellic acid, that is GA3 or terpenes, is one of the first discovered and most extensively studied gibberellin. So there are different types of gibberellin, 100 types are there of them. Gibberellic acid, that is GA3, or it is also called terpenes, are one of the first discovered and mostly extensively studied gibberellin. So let's see the functions. So the function of gibberellin are they cause increase in length of axis. So they are used to increase the length of the grapes stalks, to elongate and improve the shape of fruits such as apple, okay, not pineapple, to elongate and improve the shape of fruit such as apple. Third is they delay senescence, so the fruits can be left on the tree to extend the market period. Fourth is GA3 is used to speed up malting process in brewing industries. Few more functions you see for gibberellin. Sugarcane store sugar and stem. Spraying sugarcane crops with gibberellin increases the length of stem. So whenever gibberellin is sprayed in a sugarcane field, it increases the length of sugarcane. So it increases the yield by as much as 20 tons per acre. Spraying juvenile conifers with GA hastens the maturity period. It leads to early seed production. So for bolting, internode elongation, okay, internode elongation just prior to flowering. What is bolting? The elongation of an internode just before or just prior to flowering. So for bolting in beets, cabbage and many plants with roste habit. Next is cytokinin. So you can see Stuck and Miller later identified and crystallized the active substances and are termed as kinetin. Okay, so cytokinin were discovered as kinetin, that is N6 furfuryl aminopurine, an adenine derivative from the autoclave herring sperm DNA. So kinetin does not occur naturally in plants. Okay, so F. Stuck and his co-worker observed that from the internodal segments of tobacco stain, the callus, that is a mass of undifferentiated cell, proliferated only if the nutrients medium was supplemented with extract of vascular tissue, yeast extract, okay, coconut milk or DNA. Next you see geatine, okay. So from corn kernel and coconut milk is the natural substances with cytokinin like activities. So there are some synthetic compounds with cell division promoting activity. So natural cytokinin are synthesized in region of rapid cell division, that is root apices, shoot bud and young fruits. So you can see the function of cytokinin. First is they play a role in cytokinesis. They help to produce new leaves chloroplast in leaves, lateral shoot growth, and adventitious shoot formation. Third is they help to overcome the apical dominance. Fourth is they promote nutrient mobilization, which helps in the delay of leaf senescence. Next we see ethylene, okay, C2H4. So you can see ethylene, okay. So ethylene is a simple gaseous PGR, okay. So it is synthesized in large amount by tissue undergoing senescence and ripening of fruits. So these substances was identified as ethylene. Which substances? First, Cousins confirmed, okay, that the release of volatile substances from ripened orange that hastens the ripening of stored banana. You can see a banana is given there. From green it's turning to yellowish. So ripening of fruits. Ethylene helps in ripening of fruits. Next, let's see the functions of ethylene. You see, first is it influences horizontal growth of seedlings, swelling of axis, and apical hook formation in dicot seedling. Next function is it promotes senescence and abscission of the plant organs, especially of leaves and flower. Senescence means dying or aging. Abscission is falling off. Okay, so the falling off of leaves from the plant is called abscission. So third point is you can see it promotes fruit ripening. That means it helps in ripening of fruit. It enhances respiration rate during fruit ripening. So this is called respiratory climatic. So it breaks seed and bud dormancy. It initiates germination in peanut seeds, sprouting of potato tubers. So next function you can see it is widely used in agriculture. Okay, so it is used to initiate flowering and for synchronizing fruit set in pineapples. It also induces, okay, so it also induces flowering in mango. So it promotes rapid internode or petiole elongation in deep water rice plants. It also helps leaf and upper parts of the shoot to remain above water. It also promotes root growth and root hair formation. This increases absorption surface. So the most widely used source of ethylene is ethophone. Okay, so ethophone. So the most commonly used source of ethylene is ethophone. So ethophone is an aqueous solution, is readily absorbed and transported within the plants and released ethylene slowly. So ethophone hastens the fruit ripening in tomatoes and apples and accelerates abscission on flowers and fruits, thinning of cotton, cherry and walnut. It promotes female flowers in cucumbers, thereby increasing the yield. Okay. So here you can see the ethophone bottle given. Next or the last is abscisic acid, that is ABA short form. So during mid 1960 it was reported three kinds of inhibitors. One is inhibitor B, one is abscissin 2 and domin. They were chemically identical and are known as abscisic acid. So ABA is the derivative of carotenoids. So it regulates abscission and dormancy. Let's see the functions of abscisic acid. First is it acts as inhibitor of plant growth and metabolism. It inhibits seed germination. It stimulates closure of stomata in the epidermis. Fourth is it increases the tolerance of plants to various kinds of stresses. Therefore, it is also called stress hormone. So abscisic acid is also called stress hormone. So it has an important role in seed development, maturation and dormancy. So seed dormancy by ABA helps to withstand desiccation and other factors unfavorable for growth. Now let's see the interaction of PGR, plant growth regulators. So PGR plays individualistic or synergistic role. Such roles may be complementary or antagonistic. So PGR interact to affect dormancy in seed, buds, abscission, flowering, senescence, vernalization, apical dominance, seed germination and plants movement. So in most cases ABA acts as an antagonistic to GA. Okay, so in most of the cases ABA, that is abscisic acid, plays antagonistic just opposite of gibberellic acid, that is GA. Next you see factors influencing the action of PGR. So one is intrinsic factor, another is extrinsic factor. Intrinsic factor are genomic control, and extrinsic factor means light and temperature that are affecting the plant from outside, like light and temperature. Thank you, students. This is all about the entire video lecture. Here I've discussed about the topic phytohormone or plant hormone. So stay at home, stay safe. I am Shomjit sir, signing off for today, and again we'll meet in the next class. Thank you, students.